You're not gonna believe it, but it couldn't be a perfect time to pick up Sanguine Alchemy at Xur. At the date of this video, pick it up right now. Maybe you're asking yourself, why? Because of this. Honestly, I still can't believe it that Bungie actually allowed this to happen, and because of the problematic meta that we have right now with pulse rifles and the super high DPS loadouts that are going on for Crucible, Sanguine Alchemy with Eriana's is a one-tap, and that's still baffling. That's so crazy. It feels illegal. However, it's a lot of fun. I like the serotonin that goes in my head every time I get a one tap. So let's break down the build that you're gonna need in order to get this going. But most importantly, use code Artiphite10 at checkout at advance.gg. A lot of you may be wondering too, what the hell does Sanguine Alchemy even do? Like, it's something that hasn't been talked about in a very long time. Well, recently Bungie did rework this exotic completely from the ground up, and it is doing something way more differently than before. In PvE, you might be hearing a lot more because 10% of damage boost for free that stacks with everything else in the game is actually very huge and really great for DPS. However, in PvP, it does work as well. However, the most important thing is that you're getting a ×4 surge that stacks with your Empowering Rift as well. So you're also going to be getting a marking whenever you do damage to targets. However, that's not going to matter because when you pair it up with Eriana's Vow, you're just going to one tap with them as long as you have first glance set up. Bonus damage while aiming down sights on the opening shot of the attack. And if you do miss or get a body shot, you will be having them reeling. However, the refresh on this is less than 3 seconds. So if you shoot and you miss and you still have ammo, which by the way, this gets 2 ammo per brick, you can just wait a few seconds, get into cover, and then pop right back out and go on a killing spree. The build itself isn't really that complicated. I will show right now the mods just because it is just a lot more of the basic stuff, targeting, dexterity, especially if you pair it up with a 120, which I've been using for something new. However, the only things I do like to use instead is Reaper with double Reaper instead of like powerful attraction and whatever else here, because you want to be able to get an orb. That way you can get your refresh with Absolution and Orbs of Restoration, which in total is going to give you about a 15% refresh on your Empowering Rift. So now that the mods are out of the way, we're talking about Dawnblade. A lot of people might be actually going into Prismatic nowadays and only Prismatic because the Warlock's only personality is just Lightning Surge. However, on this build in particular, Dawnblade is extremely crucial. So you have to be running Empowering Rift. and you have to be running these fragments. And in addition, the Touch of Flame and Helion is very important because you don't really need movement with Icarus Dash or Heat Rises because your main goal is to set up Empowering Rift. So there's a secret sauce behind this, and it's main because of the fragments. So we're going to start off first with Sanguine, which your class ability recharges faster when you scorch targets. This is going to be applied with Incendiary Snap, Fusion Grenade, and Helion. In the footage, you're going to see me use Firebolt Grenade more because I thought like, oh, with Touch of Flame, it actually would be useful. It is, but honestly, the fact that I can use Fusion Grenade as a instant kill potential and refresh all my buffs, and to spawn a Fire Sprite whenever I defeat a Scorched target, which will also give you melee energy, which is fantastic with Incendiary Snap, with Ember of Searing, it's really great how this all cycles together. So again, Fusion Grenade is going to allow me to do this, which again spawns a Fire Sprite, which gives me a refresh on my Fusion Grenade, which I killed a target with Scorched targets, and which again, killing with the Fusion Grenade is going to give me a Searing Fire Sprite, and it's also going to give me melee energy, and it's going to recharge my class ability a lot faster. It's very, very fast. If you have seen my Speaker Sight helmet build before, you will see how fast it is. Moving onward with Ember of Mercy, this is something very, very nice to have because when you pick up the Fire Strike, it'll give you restoration. So you're going to easily make Fire Sprites just from dealing damage with Incendiary Snap, Fusion Grenade, and Helion. And last but not least, Ember Combustion, Final Blows to Solar Super causes targets to ignite and create Fire Sprite. A lot of players do not know this, but when you use Wall of Radiance, which needs a buff in PvP by the way, hot take, when you get a kill with the solar weapon, while you're in your well, it counts for that, for the Final Blows of the Solar Super. Therefore, your Eriana's Vow now, when it one taps to the head, is going to cause that ignition, and it's going to give you Fire Sprite, so whenever you want to quickly pick those up after your well is gone. All of this together works perfectly for this build, and genuinely I was very surprised on how stupid well this was working. And that's pretty much it. The rest of the footage is going to be how I got a 9.33 KD game on a 6v6 control match with this build setup. The opening I pop off, in the middle I get a little bit more chill, but the rest of the footage then becomes a lot more crazier. So definitely keep in mind on how I'm playing in that match. That way you too can also put this build to full potential. I'm honestly really happy to make a warlock build because it feels like it's been a very long time, and warlock builds just are very rare because if you're not using traversal steps, if you're not using Ophidian aspects or the class item, there really is not much else for warlocks. They're very niche builds, but they are very fun whenever something like this with Sanguine and Eriana's Vow pops up, which by the way as well, with 120 hand cannon is now getting that 3% buff, you can easily 2-tap people with precision instrument weapons in your empowerment rift. So definitely take advantage of this. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the love and support on the channel, and most importantly, take it easy, Guardians.
Enemy claimed Zone C. Zone A captured. You captured Zone B. You have advantage. Double down. Now you're fighting with heart, Guardian. Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Zone A lost. Enemy has zone advantage. With 10 warlocks like you, I could turn ideas into weapons. A team that fights together stays together. Captured Zone B. You have zone advantage. Zone C lost. Enemy has advantage. Five minutes remain. A strong start. Fight on. Zone C captured. You have zone advantage. Zone B lost. They have advantage. Your enemy can't kill if they're dead. What can stop you if you fight together? Nothing. Zone B captured. You have advantage. 2 for 1. Zone C lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Zone A captured. You have advantage. Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage. Zone C captured. Zone advantage is yours. Zone A lost. 3 minutes. You're winning. Stay strong. Zone C lost. Your enemy has a power play. Let them come. This is their fate. As one. I love it. You have advantage. Victory imminent. Zone B lost. Enemy has zone advantage. One minute. Won't be long now. captured. Zone advantage is yours. A victory well executed. Impressive. You could give the Redjacks a lesson in territory control.